So I know a lot of people are at home, quarantined in many cases, and just waiting for the next stimulus payment to come, stimulus 2.0 to arrive in your bank accounts, on your doorsteps. But today I'm not going to talk about the next stimulus that's going to come. I'm going to give a little bit of time to the people that are still pending their stimulus payments from the CARES Act. There are several million people that are still pending payments as of right now that are eligible to get them. So I'm trying to give you some tips on how to go ahead and get those payments. A large group of those people that are missing those payments are those expats, those U.S. citizens that live in foreign countries that pay U.S. federal taxes on an annual basis. So I'm going to speak to you about that. And lastly, I'm going to speak to you about why it is that some people that are expecting to get a direct deposit may actually receive a check in the mail and not a direct deposit, or not the debit card that the IRS has been sending out. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about all of that coming up next. Hello everyone, my name is Paul Zachary Shelton Jr. and I'm the Chief Investment Officer of Warwick Shore Advisors. We are a wealth and investment management firm located in Orlando, Florida, with clients all across the United States. If this is your first time coming to my channel or seeing one of my videos, I ask that you please hit the subscribe button. Please ring the bell so that you can get an update each time I upload a new video. And also, please like and share this video to help me increase the financial literacy of our globe. Before we get into today's topic, I want to offer you a free financial planning cheat sheet. This cheat sheet will provide you with a financial snapshot of your overall financial health as it is right now. We're in a season where everyone is seeking health advice and healing from the coronavirus. So I want to provide something to you that's free, completely free, that will give you some healing from your financial health, any financial mistakes that you may have made in the past. So if you're interested in that, leave a comment below with your email address or send me an email directly to the email address below in the description of this video, and I'll be more than happy to send that over to you directly. So let's go ahead and get started with today's topic. So there's a lot of people that are still pending payments. A lot of people on SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, railroad benefits. You're still pending your payment. I always advise first, and this is based on a lot of the questions that I'm getting. So hopefully I'm answering a lot of questions with this segment of the video. But always verify the eligibility requirements. The biggest thing that I've noticed that, people that have replied back to me and said, hey, I did check my eligibility requirements, and it looks like, number one thing, I was claimed as a dependent on someone's tax return. Typically, if you're over the age of 16 and you are claimed as a dependent on a tax return, then that disqualifies you under the CARES Act to receive the economic stimulus payment. However, if the HEROES Act is passed, that disqualification will no longer factor in. And if it is passed as the way it is written now, there is a high probability that you will go back and be able to receive the retro payment that you missed under the CARES Act, that either $500 are as a dependent or maybe even a full $1,200. So always do that. Be sure to definitely use the IRS Get My Payment portal if you are able to log on. A lot of people that are not able to log in and get information is because your address is incorrect. Make sure your address is listed exactly as it is on the USPS website. And lastly, please reach out to them directly at the 1-800-919-9835 phone number to get any specific updates as it regards to your specific situation. If there's been a death recently of one of the taxpayers or anything like that, specific questions, please reach out to them directly and get guidance for yourself personally. And if that doesn't help, please leave a message for me. I can reach out to one of my CPAs and tax accountants and try to get you a specific answer in that respect. The next thing I want to talk to you about are people that are receiving checks in the mail and not realizing, accidentally discarding some of the checks, or checks are sitting in the kitchen or sitting on the counter for 3 weeks and they're still waiting. Why haven't I got a check? I received a letter in the mail that says I received a check, but oh, wait a minute, it's in this package of mail sitting over here to the side. Be careful. Even though the IRS portal says that you may be getting a direct deposit and it has all your bank account information and everything is correct with your bank account information, it's very, very possible that you still could get a check in the mail. I know I mentioned this before about 2 months ago, and a lot of people were surprised to get checks in the mail, but it's very possible to get this. And the reason is because the U.S. Treasury has a finite number of electronic payments that they can send to each financial institution. Some financial institutions can accept more payments in a given period, which is typically within a 24-hour period or in a weekly period, than other financial institutions. So if you're banking with a smaller bank, credit union, or anything else like that, it may be very possible that they're unable to receive a large amount of transactions, not stimulus payments, but just transactions in general, as an incoming transaction, as an ACH in. So this can go across the board for all of the recipients or all of the customers of that particular financial institution. So it may be a situation where your bank, your financial institution, whoever you're using, has maxed out the recipients that they can get from the U.S. Treasury at that particular time, that particular week. So as opposed to pushing your payment off another 7 days or anything like that, if it does fall rejected, what the IRS is doing is they are writing a check and sending it out to you at that time so that you can still get the payment as opposed to waiting another 7 days to try to do the draft again and then possibly having the same issue happen 7 days later. So be patient, check your mail. It's the most important thing here, and hopefully that's the theme that you can take away from this segment, is to check your mail. It's very possible that it will be there. And we do know from 2 weeks ago that the IRS said they are sending out, in addition to checks, they are sending out more of the economic impact cards, which are the debit cards that are going out. So there are about, originally there was 4 million of those that went out, but it seems like there is going to be a nice amount of additional cards that are going to be sent out to people as well. Lastly, I want to talk to all those expats out there. Now, I have received some comments over the last couple videos that I made from people that live in Peru, and I remember receiving comments before from people that lived in Germany, in different areas, different U.S. citizens, and those that are either retired and paying a U.S. tax return, and some of those are not getting tax refunds, which is possibly the reason why you haven't received your economic stimulus payment yet. Not because you're not getting a refund, but possibly because they don't have your information. I'm gonna talk to that in a second. But it says approximately, and this is from an article, I'm gonna read some stuff to you here. Approximately 9 million Americans live in other countries. And that's according to the most recent estimate from the State Department. Yet, out of that 9 million, it is unclear of how many of them really are eligible for the economic stimulus payment. I would estimate that roughly a large amount of them are, because under the economic stimulus plan, or under the CARES Act, I should say, there was the income requirements that you had to make $75,000 or less for a single individual, or $150,000 and less for a married couple filing jointly. Now, many people that live overseas fall into the category of making significant more income than this. However, their U.S. income is less than that threshold. Therefore, your taxable income or your earned taxable income when it comes to the United States is significantly less. You may be working with an organization, a U.S.-based organization, teaching school abroad or doing anything abroad. Your income based on your U.S. income may only be $50,000 or $40,000, and you may receive another $50,000 or $40,000 worth of income in the foreign currency in the foreign country that you're living in. Therefore, even though you may have anywhere from $90,000 to $100,000 in income as an individual, you could still qualify for the full economic stimulus payment based on your U.S. salary. So there are some specific requirements in order for you to meet the eligibility for this. Most of the individuals that have filed a tax return would have need to either have filed a Form 1040 or the Form 1040-SR and have possession of a valid Social Security number. So if you meet those requirements as well and meet the income requirements, you would still receive your economic stimulus payment even though you're living abroad. So something that I mentioned before is that many of those that live abroad do not get a U.S. tax refund and thus do not have a valid bank account number or bank account information on record with the IRS. This possibly could lead and has led to many of you not receiving your economic stimulus payment as of yet. It says here, additionally, expats that have a U.S. address and U.S. bank account will more than likely get their payment sooner. So it is very, very important for those of you that are living abroad that have not received your economic stimulus payment yet to contact the IRS. I know I received messages that many of you would try to contact the IRS. It hasn't been the most helpful thing as of yet for you, but as of right now, the October 15th deadline is still available for you to go on to the IRS, get my payment portal, and enter your information in. It's allowing you to enter your bank account information and have everything updated so they can get the economic stimulus payment to you. Now, this is not a perfect science for everyone. When you go into the IRS portal, the IRS tool, I should say, it requires you to put in an address, and there are so many things that throws it off. Just as simple as many foreign addresses may not have 5 digits when it comes to a zip code or a postal code. So you will not be classified or able to enter the payment in this nature. A workaround that I have found that could possibly work is potentially if you have someone, a family relative, someone that you trust, someone that you can use their address that is still domestically in the United States, please reach out to them. Let them know this is the issue that I'm having. I'm unable to receive my economic stimulus payment. Is it possible that I can go through the process and get my address updated to have a US-based address for this particular time where I can receive US mail? You can actually try to go to a UPS store. You can try to go to any different areas, a FedEx store, and try to get a mailbox to use, or try to request one that you can use for a temporary period, whether it's a year, 2 years, or whatever the case may be. That way you will be able to receive US mail. You'll have a valid US Postal Service mailbox that the check can be issued to. If you do have access to that, or if you are one of those residents that has a dual residency, and you have a property in the United States that you can utilize, see if you can go back through and have your information updated with the IRS to that particular address, and use your information therefore afterwards to go on to the IRS portal and be able to enter your bank account information in that respect. Hopefully this information is helpful to you. Please leave your comments below if you're still struggling to receive your economic stimulus payment under the CARES Act. I'll do my best that I can to answer all of my comments and answer all the questions that are out there and try to get you the help and assistance to help you get your money. If this is your first time coming to my channel, I ask that you please hit the subscribe button. Please ring the bell so that you can get an update each time I upload a new video. And lastly, before you leave my channel, please like and share this video to help me increase the financial literacy of our globe. Thank you so much and have a great day.